shortly. Craig, you're just back from the Czech Republic.
Yes.
Rangers, they made it tough, but they're through the Bruges game. We're just looking to see about any signings that are coming in or going out. Jefty could be on his way to Palmeiras. It looks as though a verbal agreement has come for the fullback, who is not without his critics.
Again, he was not. He wasn't by himself, but he was a poor performer again the other night. First goal, a mistake that we've seen him repeat over and over again. So look, it's a player that doesn't seem to be able to grasp mistakes and improve from. Like every other player at Rangers, I think there is a price and an opportunity, I guess. It's a first result of they go through to the next stage, but you can't continue to carry the luck that Rangers have in the last two qualifying phases. That luck runs out. They need to be much better. It was the most worrying performance I've seen this season.
They offered up so many chances, didn't they, to a team that they had put to bed the week before, but they opened themselves up to that. Could have been an embarrassment.
Yeah, Paul, the problem is that I think at the moment, in terms of the build-up phase, too many mistakes are being made in this process, and it's putting the team under huge pressure. And then you can see the confidence being sucked out of the group and away from home, and you concede. Rangers were lucky they scored when they did, because it looked as if that Plitzen could have come over the top and gone through in the tie, and it wouldn't have been a fluke. They were by far the better side and dominated for the majority of it.
That's all forgotten, obviously, if they get through next week and the following week against Bruges. On the evidence of what you've seen, the manager keeps saying, and it is early days, he's only been in, 7 or 8 weeks, but is it going to click into place? Does he have the players that can play the system that he wants?
Just need to make better decisions, Paul. Like I says, he's going to stick to the way that he wants to play. So, the basics are not going to change, but Rangers definitely need to improve in terms of, I think he touched on taking care with the ball. You can't keep losing possession in the build-up phase, because automatically you're under pressure. Jack Butland was excellent with his hands. He was awful with his feet. And again, that invites pressure. Teams thrive off of that, and if they get a goal from that, then it's a real worry. It really is for me.
Neither set of supporters, Mark, is ecstatic at the moment at the start of the season. Celtic fans worried about the lack of signings up front. Rangers fans are just not sure about Russell Martin, and he may well prove to be a brilliant manager for Rangers, but the jury's out at the moment.
Yeah, it's very early, Paul. It is, but you've got to make pass an opinion. On what you see so far, and so far, look, what you can say is he's taken Rangers to within 180 minutes of £40 million jackpot. So that's the facts as it stands. In the league, really disappointing. 4 points dropped out of 6. The thing that gets me, we're in here on Tuesday night watching the game with Andy Walker, it's the self-inflicted wounds. That's what gets me. And see if you're playing against brilliant teams and they're cutting you open, you're just not quite at their level. Something you just got to accept that. But it's inviting the pressure onto yourself. That's what I don't get, because you look at that Rangers team in the first leg and you see Antman and Gassama, you see Dessers, you think you've got great outballs, you've got wingers that want to go and get the ball, get it to them quickly, stop messing about at the edge of your own box. And Jack Butland, as Craig said, you've got Jefty, the defence, they're not a unit. You look at the defence, it's been a defence that's been part of the problem for a long time. It's not a defence that's going to bring you success, in my opinion. So you need to really go on. But the thing that gets me, and I said it's just, don't create problems for yourself. And that's what Rangers seem to be doing at the moment at the back.
I think the biggest problem is players nowadays are like robots. So if you're working on certain patterns on the training field, obviously you're looking to try and bring that into play at the game. But sometimes, Paul, it's not on. There's a pattern where all of a sudden now I'm looking and the pattern that we would like to play is not on. I don't think players then are showing initiative to say, it's not on, I need to do something different. So a great example of that was the way that Plitzen pressed Rangers the whole match, left Rangers 3v3 in attack. Now that is a dream for an attacking player. It wasn't recognised, it wasn't worked on, and you could see it. When they went long and that 3v3 situation, it was forced, it wasn't successful. But with an understanding, that's a real area where Rangers could have exposed, and that for me was a worry, because again the focus was on the build up. That's causing you issues, But beyond that, there's actually an opportunity, a real threat in an attacking situation that they did not recognise.